Management Research.
Hello and welcome to the Management Research podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Eugene. Hello and welcome to the next episode in my mini-series dedicated to strategic management and in particular to the 5 Forces framework by Porter. In our previous episode, we finished talking about one of the 5 forces, the rivalry among competitors. And in this episode, we're going to start the new force in the 5 forces framework, which is called the bargaining power of suppliers. Actually, we will combine them because the next force would be the bargaining power of buyers, but it is more or less the same. The same factors have impact on the bargaining power of suppliers and buyers, because it is the same bargaining power, just depends on which side of this discussion you are on. You can be the buyer related to your supply chain because you buy something from the supply chain, and in this event, the bargaining power over suppliers will matter, but at the same time you can be seen as the one who supplies the goods to the final customers, and in this event we talk about the bargaining power of buyers over you. So more or less it is the same force, just described on different sides of the same force. Are you a buyer or are you a supplier? And the drivers for this force are the same. Doesn't really matter whether we talk about the buyers or suppliers, the same aspect that we're going to discuss will drive this force. First of all, we can start with a definition. What is the bargaining power? And the bargaining power is actually the easiness with which you can say no to the other party. The easier you can refuse a deal from the other party, the higher your bargaining power. If somebody offers you a service and you can easily say no because there are many other offers, then your bargaining power is high and the one of the party that offered you something is low. And vice versa, your bargaining power is low if you are one of many who is offering something and there's only one person or one firm who wants to buy your service and your good. After we have defined it, we're going to talk about one of the drivers that has impact on the bargaining power. Doesn't really matter over suppliers and buyers, we're just going to talk about what has impact on the easiness with which you can say no. And this is the price sensitivity. It is about the importance of an item as a proportion of total costs. And I have 2 examples for you. The first one, if you like to buy beer or you like to buy Coke in the metal cans or aluminum cans, then you might be interested in the final price of the Coke itself. And I talked to some producers and they said that actually the price of the beer is very low. If you think about how it is being produced, in how many decaliters it's going to be produced, then actually it's like not much more expensive than just the water. But if you want to sell it, then the huge part of the final price is actually the price of the aluminum can and the way how you get your beer into this can. This is the reason why the producers of beer or of Coke, especially those who sell it in aluminum cans, they are so sensitive regarding the price of the aluminum can itself. Because any change in the price for the aluminum cans will have immediate impact on the final price of your product, of beer or of Coke or of any other drink. And as you know, it will have a negative impact on the competition, because if your final price is going to grow and by the competitors not, then you're going to lose your market. The other example that I have for you is from my career. I used to work as a translator many years ago when I was a student in Ukraine. And I used to work in a factory where we produced the packaging. The first project that we started with was packaging for the washing powder. When I talked to people who installed all these machines and when I talked to producers, I asked them, why are we going to start with this one? There are many things we can start. Why washing powder? And they told me, Eugene, how do you think, how much is washing powder worth? And I said, I don't know, if you go, you buy probably a package at that moment, I don't know, let's say €1. It was in hryvnia, in Ukrainian currency, but let's say €1. And they said, do you know how much of this euro is actually the price of packaging? I said, I have no idea. And I said, just to understand, they import the washing powder in wagons, they produce it massively, it's being imported in tons. The final price of washing powder is really minimal. And the brand for which we're going to produce this packaging tries to go to the niche where people are not willing to pay too much. So the producer for whom we made it, and this packaging was not competing against Ariel or Persil or like more luxury brands. This producer was competing on very low level market. And they told me this is a huge market. Many people try to buy washing powder, which is the cheapest one, and the final price is actually completely depending on the packaging. If we manage to produce packaging that is only 5 cents cheaper, then you cannot imagine how much money this seller can save on his market. And it means we will have immediate impact on the market, and he will never say no to us if we can offer packaging to a lower price, just because it will increase his positions on the market immediately. Because people on this low level market, low price market, they are really eager to save any penny. And if you can offer them a better price, a slightly better price, this 5 cents better price is only 5% of this €1, they said they would immediately jump in and try to buy this product. And that is why we were interested, especially in this market and especially in this type of production. Then I left the factory, so as far as I know, they succeeded, but I was working not for a long time there. And what I learned is actually the importance of this one item for the total cost of the final product, and that this producer of washing powder, how sensitive he was regarding the packaging, and we were the ones who were offering them the packaging for a slightly lower price. So for you, it would mean if you want to succeed on the job market, you have to develop something that will be unique, that you can sell much better that the others don't have, and take care that this capability will become a core of something offered from your employer to the customer. If you are a researcher, focus on the research and try to find an employer that is really a research-oriented institution, because on this event, what you have, your core capability, will have the biggest impact on the final product. If you are a researcher and go to a teaching institution, then probably you will have the great capacity that will not bring you any use, just because people will not value it. I hope it was interesting, I hope it was helpful. I'll see you in the next episode, where we are going to talk about the next driver for the bargaining power. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a like, leave a comment. It's not for monetization, I just want to know whether somebody is listening to this podcast. Wish you all the best, and bye-bye.